right, top 10 most slept on video games, Grant. It's your turn.
Okay.
I'm not even going to ask you one question because I know you don't have it. So
I don't have pictures.
I'll go ahead and get ready to put your pictures on the screen.
Okay.
Go ahead, Grant.
All right, we ready?
Yeah.
From 2011, Deus Ex: Human Revolution. So, I'm waiting. You want me to wait till you pull up the picture?
Deus Ex, huh?
Yeah.
Deus
or Deus? I don't know how you say it. Deus Ex.
You said Deus Ex.
I don't. What is it? Deus? I don't know how you say it. I'm not fucking German or whatever it is.
You said Deuce. Oh, that's all right. You said Deuce.
What is it?
Deuce.
What is it?
Don't worry about it.
Deus.
Don't worry about it. Just go with Deuce.
No, we're gonna go with Deus because it's like I'm a Deus.
Yeah, because it is Deus Ex. Fucking shit-tard. Come on.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so this game, everybody knows it's a cyberpunk type RPG. Gives deep player choices and stuff like that. Engaging stealth, action mechanics. It had a lot of critical acclaim, but it just never reached the mainstream popularity that it deserved. And that's just the truth.
This isn't the one they ruined with microtransactions, is it?
It's possible. Deus.
Or was
Deus
that the
Ex.
other one?
No, that was Deus Ex. Deus Ex, I'm not sure. Dude, here's the thing: is I pronounce things I don't even listen to how people pronounce things. Do you know before I even watched Luka Doncic play basketball, I couldn't pronounce his last name.
Okay, it was Mankind Divided. That's the one that was bad on microtransactions. Yeah. But yeah, this was the good one. But yeah, this was definitely slept on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. My number 10, Grant. My number 10 of the the top most games that have been slept on is, pull that picture up, Kingdom of Amalur Reckoning. And they actually they made a remaster of this called Re-Reckoning. That was
Reckoning.
Okay. Yeah, Reckoning. But anyway, this was a 𝐟𝐸𝐫𝐷 helped write the story for this game.
I know who 𝐟𝐸𝐫𝐷 is.
The creator of Drizzt.
He's been having a lot of mental breakdowns on Twitter lately.
Yeah.
God,
man. The creator of Drizzt, great storyteller, but he helped write the story of this game. Well,
Does he still come out with like a book every year? He used to come out with like one book every year.
Yeah. I don't know. But 𝐟𝐸𝐫𝐷. Anyway, so this one had a massive open world. It was a mix of like Elder Scrolls and Fable.
Mm-hmm.
It had that kind of aesthetic to it. But this was overshadowed by Skyrim.
Yeah.
This was really overshadowed by Skyrim. Like, I played this game. I remember playing this game. I loved it. I loved this game. But it was overshadowed by Skyrim. That's why I didn't really pop off. Because Skyrim was just, that's still a masterpiece today. So
yeah, oh yeah.
But still, this was a great game, and I think it got slept on. All right, go ahead, Grant. Number 9.
All right, number 9 is Dishonored 2.
Dishonored 2.
Yep. This game came out in 2016. So this game was a stealth action map, dude. The stealth action was fantastic for this game. The level designs were really good. It was kind of like Clockwork Mansion. You remember Clockwork Mansion?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Well, it was kind of like Dishonored.
Well, I know that, but it was an improvement upon Dishonored. Let's start with there. Right? It was an improvement. But in 2016, a bunch of stuff came out, and it didn't ever really get the top tier credit that it deserved.
Yeah, it was sort of like Dishonored, wasn't it?
But it was kind of like Dishonored, but it was like Dishonored 2. It was kind of like a.
I thought this was actually downgrade from Dishonored. I didn't like it.
You didn't think so?
No, I played this game. I didn't like it compared to the first one.
I didn't ask if you liked it.
It was kind of let down.
Man, I don't care if you liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't ask
so
that.
To me, it wasn't slept on.
Well, no, somebody needs to.
All right, my number 9 is Bulletstorm.
Never heard of it. Nope. Doesn't count.
Dude, this was a great FPS. It was actually a really good FPS. But it rewards you. It's creative. It's about creativity in your killing. Like it has creative kills in it.
Don't care. Never heard of it. That's what you do to me. Don't care. Never.
You have some ridiculous ways of killing people in this game.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But it has that over the top humor, and style to it. It's kind of like over the top humor when it comes to Borderlands, but totally different game. Then it had a skill shot system to it, and it's just fast paced. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was just the style of killing things or killing enemies in this game that was just fantastic. All right, Grant, go ahead. Number 8.
So there's a lot of people who like this game, but it didn't really get the accolades that it deserved because another game came out on the same day, and it was 2015 Mad Max. You understand? Mad Max. You know what game came out the same day?
What's that?
Metal Gear Solid 5.
This is my number 3.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it deserves a lot higher than that.
Well,
fucking number 8.
My number 1's going to shock you. I promise you.
But Mad Max is my number 3. This game was definitely overslept on. One of the reasons what you just said. But it had a massively underrated open world.
Yeah.
Like the open world was great. Then it had insane the car combat.
Yeah.
Was fantastic.
Do you think it had anything to do with Mad Max being antiquated, as in not people really know what Mad Max is, like from the 80s?
I mean, this was shortly after the.
Like if this game would have came out
before.
if this game would have come out in like 88, this game would have been a masterpiece. Let's say it had the same graphics and stuff. You know what I mean? Or if they had a new Mad Max movie. But this game, this came out like, you know what I mean? Like Mad Max wasn't really popular anymore, like it was in the 80s.
Well, Fury Road came out in 2015, and I thought this was going to correlate together, like really shoot it up there because the movie was so popular. So Fury Road, came out in like May, summertime of 2015?
Probably, yeah.
When did this game get?
What did it get? Like, what did it get rated?
When did it get released? Shortly after the movie, right? Yeah, September. All right, so a couple months after the movie. So you thought it would have done a lot better, being it came out the same year as the movie. But yeah, dude, it was like even the hand-to-hand combat, like
it was tight.
Like the melee combat was fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And it captured everything in the Mad Max world. This was a fantastic game. And I still think is still a good game to play nowadays. Like it's like legit, it's really good.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't played this, it's probably cheap as hell right now. I'd play it. All right. Number 8, Grant. We talked about this game last week, actually. It's Legend of Dragoon.
Okay.
Legend of Dragoon. It is a game that was slept on. So I had to put it in my top 10. And it's one of the most I'd say it is one of the when it comes to RPG, not quite the top, but it's
top 5. It's easily top 5.
Easily. When it comes to like being slept on and underrated and everything like that, Legend of Dragoon is that. Yeah. And that's my number 8.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Because people haven't heard this story before.
It didn't have Square Enix tag on it, and it wasn't a Final Fantasy, so people overlooked it.
Also, we didn't. Me and you really literally because I was with you when you bought this game. You're like, "What is this game?" And then I didn't see you for like 4 days.
Yeah, it disappeared, and then you took it.
I did. I bought
this game.
No, I probably do.
You have this and Record of Lotus War. I need that back. Stacked.
I don't know. We got to see how much they cost. How much it's worth now.
Yeah.
If it's worth a lot, I ain't seen it. I don't have it anymore.
Yep. All right, Grant, you're number 7.
All right, dude. Number 7 is Prey.
Prey.
Yes.
2017 one?
2017.
Yeah, buddy.
It's the sci-fi sim from Arcane Studios. Scary atmosphere, deep RPG mechanics, and the enemy designs were crucial. And it's extremely criminally overlooked.
Yeah, Prey was a fantastic game.
Yep.
I like the combat.
The character design. I mean, the enemy designs were crucial.
Up. The way the enemies moved, dude.
Yes.
Oh, buddy, that shit was fucked.
Yeah.
They looked like it was creepy.
That's right.
All right. My number 7 is Hollow Knight.
Okay. I can see that.
Dude, this is one of the best Metroidvania games ever made.
Yeah.
It is. It is one of the best Metroidvania games ever made.
Really.
It was kind of like the character kind of looks goofy, but the gameplay, it is amazing. And like the art design, I think most of the stuff is hand drawn in the game.
That's pretty cool.
It's similar to like your Ori Will-O-Wisp
Okay.
games, Metroidvania like,
Mhm.
but it has a good story too and everything like that. But yeah, everything's in hand drawn art style, great animations,
This is like a game
huge world, and deep lore. Like it has deep lore in this game.
this is like a game your oldest daughter would like.
Yeah, it
Is it?
does. That's what it looks like. It looks
Yeah.
kind of like Kitty, right?
Yeah.
It is one of the best Metroidvania games ever made.
That's cool, man. Nice.
Hollow Knight,
All right.
and it still holds up today.
Number 6, and this series gets slept on, dude. But it's The Evil Within 2.
Yeah,
First of all, people don't understand how freaky this fucking game is. Like, this game is fucked. Like, the first one was creepy as shit. Like
first one was
people talk about Silent Hill and this thing that. Yeah, I get that. This game was fucked. Like the enemies were creepy looking. Like especially in the first one, you had the guy with like the big box. Like he had like the cage on his head or whatever, and you had like the guy with this big chainsaw thing.
yeah.
But like just the psychological, because it's like that's what it is. These are psychological horror
yeah.
games, and people don't really understand what kind of games those are. You know what I mean? They're games that fuck with your mind. So think like they kind of did it with Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 3 not so much, and I'll explain why. Resident Evil 2 they had it because they had Mr. X or the tyrant following you around the police station. You can hear his footsteps. You didn't know where he was, but you knew he was after you, and you can hear him, and that plays with your mind because that adds to the scariness. Like especially if you're in a room and you hear him outside and you hear him opening doors, you're like, oh fuck.
It's atmospheric.
Correct.
Sounds.
Yeah.
Like,
you can easily outrun him.
Makes this game really
exactly. You can outrun him, but that's not the point. The point is that he's behind you. You have whatever you're doing, you have to do it quickly because he's coming for you.
Yeah.
So imagine if it was like what they should do is like a Friday the 13th where Jason's always fucking after you, like always after you. You know what I mean? Like no matter what you do, however you set up the game, he's always coming for you. Like he's always
already have one of those.
Yeah, that game's funny because like you ever seen like
Friday the 13th one? You can play as Jason and other people play as the campers or whatever.
Have you ever seen
technically you do have someone Jason's coming after you?
That is true. That is true. But have you ever seen like the compilation video of that game where he's like killing people, where he like takes the guy and puts his head in the saw? Like it's like a bunch of ways of killing people.
Yeah.
Oh man, but no, this game right here is super underrated. This game's scary as fuck. People don't understand how these games are scary as shit.
It's in your like Resident Evil. I would say it's more in Silent Hills kind of.
Yeah.
Ballpark.
Yeah, I think it's scarier than Silent Hill.
Well, what I'm saying is it's in more of, instead of the action, like you've seen Resident Evil, this one's more of Silent Hills, but it's just different.
Yeah.
In certain aspects than those two.
This game doesn't get enough credit. This whole series is insane.
Yeah. All right. My number 6 is Singularity.
All right.
Singularity. All right, this game, this was like how do I explain it? This was like a mix of BioShock and Half-Life. This game was. But it has a really good, strong narrative to it, and an alternative history to it, I would say. But you basically you have unique weapon stuff, and you have a time manipulation device too.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy. But this fell under the radar because of bad marketing. But it was really a good game. It really filled that BioShock and Half-Life itch, but it just had bad marketing. But it is still a great game.
Yeah.
And this came out. I mean, this game's like almost 15 years old.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
Number 5, Sleeping Dogs, 2012.
Damn.
Phenomenal opening world crime game set in Hong Kong.
That low,
Yakuza
huh?
type game.
That low, huh?
Yeah. Well, you got it up higher.
Sleeping Dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's higher.
You know what's crazy is this game deserved a sequel and it never got one.
Yeah, it does. It got a definitive edition. That's about it.
I feel like that's what they do that to every game that they don't want them to have a sequel to.
Yeah. All right. What number is that?
5.
5. Okay.
Mhm.
So my number 5 is The Saboteur.
Okay.
Yeah. This is set in Nazi occupied France. It's blending history and open world action together. But it has a black and white look to it. And then it adds color as you like liberate areas. So it has that black and white old school look to it. And then like when you liberate area, it turns into color. Like it's just a cool concept in the game.
Yeah.
But this is like stealth parkour and kind of gameplay, and mixed with a little bit of course, action, combat. But I would say the atmosphere, the immersive atmosphere in this game, and the soundtrack, dude. The soundtrack for this game is fantastic.
Okay.
But it really got slept on. I'm not sure why, but it didn't, I guess, get good marketing or whatever. But this was a really good game, and this game is like almost 16 years old. Go ahead.
Number 4, Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus.
Oh shit!
2017.
Wolfenstein.
Yep. Now this game was the insane action was incredible. The bad thing about it is, I mean, it pushed the storytelling further, but it's one of those games that I think people were like burnt out on it, so the sales didn't quite match the quality of the game. And it should have done better, and it just didn't.
No, one of the main reasons this game failed, I played it. It wasn't optimized very well. It was actually a good game, but the optimization was really bad.
Really?
In this game, yeah, it was really bad. Even on console, I'm not sure about PC, but I played it on console. I think on Xbox or either Xbox or PlayStation. I can't remember, but it was very poorly optimized. Like the frame rates and everything like that. It was just really, really badly optimized. But you could tell it was there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a really good game. All right, number 4. Not many people have heard of this game.
Oh God!
Not many people have heard of this game. All right, this was a weird take. This is called Enslaved: Odyssey to the West. All right, this was kind of like it was a different take on the Chinese story Journey to the West. Like way different take.
Obviously, way different.
But it's a post-apocalyptic. Think about a post-apocalyptic Journey to the West.
First of all, when did this come out? This is like PlayStation 2.
No, this is 2010. Yeah, it's back.
PlayStation 3.
PlayStation 3. Yeah.
Okay.
But it actually have really good motion capture for the time. Like Andy Serkis, he was the motion capture guy. Yeah, he was motion captured in this game. But the characters looked incredibly lifelike. That's how good the motion capture was in this game. But basically, it's this team-based gameplay, and the environments were really good. But overall, I mean, this was really like slept on game, and it was actually fun to play. Go ahead, Grant. Number 3.
Number 3, Titanfall 2. And I'm gonna tell you why.
You saying Titanfall 2 was slept on?
Because it was released right in the middle of Battlefield 1 and the new Call of Duty. It was my number 1's the same thing. You're gonna say what? But when I tell you what it was released between, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. Correct. I mean, it might be more popular now. We're talking about when it was released. I'm telling you, man. Don't give me the Robert De Niro face. No.
I have to. I mean, I don't know about sales wise, but I have to disagree with you. I mean,
Well, here's the thing: is
everyone that has touched this fucking game thinks it's a fucking masterpiece.
correct. Now we're talking about when it was released.
They
That's
thought
what we're
I got it when it was fucking released.
Okay, well,
It was a fucking masterpiece.
okay, well, it didn't do as well as it probably has done now.
Okay,
well, it has. We're talking about slept on games when they were released.
Well, I don't even want to put slept on and Titanfall 2 in the same category.
Oh, wait till
I don't want that in the same sentence.
Well, wait till you read what my number one is.
My game. This is my jam right here.
That's fine. Wait till you hear my number one.
Hold on, I gotta do my number 3. I mean, there's still like 20,000 people playing this game on Steam. It's better than Avowed on new releases. All right, let's see. My number 2, Grant, or my number 3. 1 second.
What is your number 3? Oh, I didn't hear you say 1 second. Are you back? You back there, buddy? Hit the button.
My daughter.
There you go.
Hey. All right, my number 3 is Mad Max.
Okay.
So what's your number 2?
Metro Exodus.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yep. Everybody knows it's the post-apocalyptic shooter in the survival horror and the open world and stuff like that. It never reached like Fallout or Stalker level of fame. That's the problem. I think people compared it to that, and it never really got there.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say it's a little bit different game than Fallout, but it's still pretty good. Or I would say different kind of gameplay mechanics. But Metro Exodus, yeah, it was legit.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good game. All right. My number 2 is Sleeping Dogs.
Okay.
It is Sleeping Dogs. This is one of the most underrated games, or most slept on games of all time. All right. Open world crime game set in Hong Kong. Brutal hand-to-hand combat. I mean, what else can you do in it? You can do street racing, karaoke. I mean, it's kind of like Yakuza games, but way different. Fight clubs, sports. I mean, the game's fantastic. And I could still pick up this game today and play it. Game's awesome. Go ahead.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Yeah, I sure am, Grant.
My number 1 is Ghost of Tsushima. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, this game is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But this game also came out between The Last of Us Part 2 and God of War. So it had very good initial reaction, and then it just fell off. But now it's picked up. But we're talking about at the time that it came out, it was kind of like, we want to play Last of Us Part 2. We want to play God of War. And those games overshadowed it. Even though it was it's beautiful, very innovative, it was just overshadowed by 2 juggernauts. But now everybody's waiting for Ghost of Yotai.
Okay.
It's my number 1. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah. Overslept on game.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
That's right.
Grant, the most overslept on game in history, and possibly, well, it is most likely, it is the most overslept on RPG of all time. But I would say it's the most overslept on game of all time also. A lot of people don't know this game. A lot of people didn't play it because it was on a certain console. All right.
I won't change mine to Xenogears.
It's not Xenogears. Why are you trying to change it to Xenogears?
Because I thought that's what you were going to pick.
No.
I thought that's what you were going to say. Okay.
It's Lost Odyssey.
Okay.
Have you ever played this game? It came on Xbox, and I know you haven't played it.
No.
I know you haven't played it.
Xbox. I spit on it. Puh.
This is Xbox, Microsoft's take on a true Final Fantasy-like game, except it was on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
It has one of the best stories, I would say, ever told.
Really?
In an RPG. Just about, I would say. but it really was one of the most overslept on games, I mean, ever. It was a fantastic RPG. And when it first got released, it had the turn-based combat, but they added like the environment of like a battlefield of a bunch of people fighting in the back as you're fighting in your little area. I mean, it was just like a moving train. It was everything, dude. Like it was just so awesome. And it was a very good turn-based RPG.
Okay.
And it had like these small short stories that were very well written inside the game, even your side quests and stuff.
Why
like
didn't
that.
they do any sequels or anything?
I don't know. I mean,
They
it was
just said, fuck it. That's what they said.
Miss Walker, dude. That's who published it. But I mean, like it was real. 2007 is when this game came out.
Okay.
But it was really it's slept on, dude. Like it is. I mean, it's one of the best RPGs ever made.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
that's a big gloat. That's
It's one
big
of
shoes to fill.
Yeah.
You would say this is a top 10 RPG?
But one of the reasons why, another reason why, not just being on Xbox, and this was their first take on like a turn-based RPG that they owned.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of why no one really paid attention to it. But it was overshadowed by a lot of Japanese RPGs at the time. Tales series were like going hard. You still had the Final Fantasies. There's a lot of RPGs pushing in that early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So it really got overlooked on. But man, this game was phenomenal. I don't know if everyone remembers this game, if you're maybe too young or whatever, but this game was a fantastic RPG.
Okay.
And that's our top 10.
That is our top 10.
Top 10. Yep, top 10 most slept on video games.